Hi everyone. You're about to go on a tour led by Scott Schiller, the Executive Vice President and my partner here at the Arts Center. The summer of 2009, 32,000 people on the stage at the Ziff Ballet Opera House. An incredible experience.
The summer 2008 season at the Arts Center proved that Miami audiences wanted to see engaging new productions in the summertime, a time when theaters typically have always been dark in Miami. As we began planning our summer 2009 season, we knew we had to find a show that would be engaging to our local audiences, would bring in large numbers of international tourists, and also would be financially viable to run for multiple weeks so that we could build an audience and build word of mouth. As it turns out, that show was FuerzaBruta.
Sure, we were dancing the whole time. We're big Broadway fans, but this is a whole different experience. The buildup of the energy is incredible. All of a sudden, the music started ba 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 ba.
And the face of the people who are watching, that the mouth start to open like, and start to see what's going on upstairs. It's amazing. But you have to come and feel it because it's touches in your body.
Yeah, of course, the water. The girls in the water. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Attractive, visual, stunning acrobatics, like a cross between a rave and a Cirque du Soleil show. Just so much fun. I thought it was really original. It was the first time I've been somewhere where it's mixed so much music and interaction, and it's really involved the public in the actual show itself.
They actually react to the people's reaction, so the show itself will evolve. So if you see it tonight, you come back a few more times, and you're going to see a whole new show. Spectacular.
Phenomenal. It was awesome. I'm bringing my parents and my brother and everyone.
FuerzaBruta had always been performed in found spaces, warehouses, large outdoor spaces. But here in Miami, I said, why does the audience have to stay in the seats with the action happening on stage? Why don't we turn our stage house into the warehouse? Here at the Arts Center, we have the second largest stage in America. Once the producers were convinced that the show could play inside an existing theater space, we began the task of redesigning the show to fit in an existing space. Now, this was quite difficult, but the theater had one advantage over all of the other found spaces that the production had ever been built in. It had a fly gallery. And because it had a fly gallery, we were able to completely capitalize the production and source all of the materials locally in Miami. All of the lighting, sound, stage effects, scaffolding. This really saved us a lot of time, saved us a lot of money, and made the logistics of building the show much easier. Only the large machines and the clear bottom Mylar swimming pool were actually shipped in from Argentina. In the end, FuerzaBruta Miami ended up being the largest physical production of the show that had ever been built for an indoor space. Well, having that additional capacity ended up having a whole new set of logistical challenges. How would we move around 850 patrons each and every night with big pieces of machinery moving in and out, and the artistic elements of the show happening all around the audience? We're currently training a group of local ushers, all of which have volunteered to be here for the show.
You all will be in charge of directing the audience from one place to another one, asking them to move forward or backward. We are just in charge of people, moving them and taking care of them. That's really important. It's a risky show. Things come from all over the place, so we have to be very careful and take good care of the audience, okay? Because they don't know what's happening, just us.
Normally, when patrons come to see performances on one of our main stages, they enter here, the front of the Ziff Ballet Opera House. But for FuerzaBruta, you enter here on 14th Street at the Ziff Ballet Opera House loading dock. You enter backstage. The box office is backstage. Unlike in New York, where the show just ended, the house lights came up and everybody exited into the street, I really felt that if we could come up with a lounge concept, if we could keep the audience in the theater, keep them in the space, and keep them excited, the show experience could continue and people would talk about the show, they'd call their friends. Well, luckily for us, we have a great partner in Barton G. Barton G is a great restaurateur. He creates bars and restaurants and nightclubs here in Miami. So, from the loading dock, which is now the box office, patrons then enter into Barton's G Lounge.
When you walk in, it's sort of an unconventional, sort of a generic kind of a lounge where you don't really know where you're at and what's about to happen. From turbofans to nitrogen bars to cuisine, which I designed, where you don't need a plate, everything is on a stick. Everything is out of the norm. Even as far as your old traditional shots, we're doing what they're called pop shots.
Liquid nitrogen shots inside strawberries, lemon shots, and then they dip it in liquor and they freeze it in nitrogen.
Once you go into the show, when it all unfolds, and all of the excitement and the energy that sort of builds inside the show, an hour later you come back into the most pumping, hot, South Beach, cool, hip nightclub that there ever was.
I think it was awesome. It was just awesome. Best show I ever seen. Only Barton G could pull something like this off.
Once we knew that FuerzaBruta could fit on the stage inside a traditional theater setting, and once we knew that the lounge could be created and really extend the experience, the next piece was marketing it. And marketing a show that the creators said had no meaning, that the creators said it's very hard to understand. I mean, everybody we talked to said you have to see the show in order to understand it.
When I think in this Running Man that is crashing walls, for example, it's not a metaphor of something else. It's just that. It's like a physical desire. It's not like a concept.
Well, that's pretty scary from a marketing perspective of how we're going to get people to actually buy tickets and come in the door.
Yeah, it's very scary, but there was also the advantages of knowing that we wanted to reach a younger audience. We didn't have the language barrier, Spanish or English. We could market to both, that we didn't necessarily have to use traditional media.
The first phase was taking a high-energy TV spot and getting it into the media as much as we could. We also took out a lot of outdoor advertising, setting up that the show was going to be the must-see event of the season. The second phase we really employed after the show opened.
Through viral marketing, through tweeting friends, through text messaging while they were on the stage watching the performance, while taking their own photography and being encouraged to do so and putting their own video on YouTube. It was absolutely amazing to learn that FuerzaBruta for 2 weeks was the #1 topic to tweet in the Miami South Florida marketplace. And it was a moment, I think, in the 21st century where I felt like, in marketing terms, we have arrived.
Anybody who put the words FuerzaBruta on their digital photos, it would be automatically uploaded to our website. Our really active Facebook posts. I mean, we would post blog entries on Facebook every day with new photos from the show and new videos from the show. In the lobby of the G Lounge, guests could Twitter about the show, and they could text each other, and their messages would be posted on 50-inch plasma screen TVs in the lounge. And I think all of those tools, including the tool of us bringing in a local company to shoot testimonial videos in the lobby. I mean, getting people to talk about the experience they had just had and send that video to their friends, I mean, that's, priceless. FuerzaBruta sold out performance after performance. It extended twice, and after 9 weeks became the longest running theatrical show in Miami history. We exceeded our budgetary expectations at both the box office and the lounge's bar. 64% of ticket purchasers were first-time buyers at the center. Many of them returned a second and third time to see the show. And the show's producing partners loved the G Lounge so much that 3 weeks after the Miami production opened, they added the D Lounge to the Darryl Roth Theater's engagement, and they say they will not mount the show again without a bar component.
My favorite part was the whole thing, but I guess if I had to pick one moment, I really like the women crawling on the back wall.
Ushering in the center's second year of summer presentations, the show and its concept was molded and shaped, recreated and rebranded specifically for Miami. Bigger, better, flashier, and unforgettable.